On today's show, NASA is headed to Jupiter's moon Europa, and we're going to give you all the details.
And PlayStation's got some big news. It's not actually big news. Okay, if it's bigger, it's big. I'll tell you.
Biggish. And also, Samsung has an 18-wheel truck that you can see right through. So if you want to pass it on a highway, you're not going to die. It's Tomorrow Daily. Greetings, citizens of the internet. Welcome to Tomorrow Daily, the best geek talk show in the known universe. I'm Ashley Scallett. Join me as always, post E3 Haze, Khail Anonymous. You had a good show.
I did, but I immediately went home and played video games. I was because you don't play a lot of games.
Really
you stand
don't.
in lines and wait more than you play video games.
I played like 4 games.
And so the thirst is real. But, you know, if you have any questions about our thoughts on any of our E3 ideas, what we played or whatever, feel free to hit us up on Twitter.
Yeah.
But, you know, for now, we're just going to hit the headlines.
All right, so I have to tell you about this see-through truck. I saw this video and I thought it was really interesting. And honestly, like now it has me wondering why we don't just do this with every kind of car and truck ever. So Samsung has what they're calling Samsung Safety Truck. It's an 18-wheel truck, a big rig. What are other names for big rigs? We call them
8-wheeler?
18-wheeler.
18-wheeler?
Yeah, we call it 18-wheeler. I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know, a rig?
a lot of people, there's like different names for them all over the country. So it's really cool. It's a concept idea. Might save some lives, which I always like. It is a giant truck, cargo truck with a screen on the back of it and a front-mounted camera. So let's say you're driving down a highway and it's only 2 lanes and you can't pass a truck unless you know if there's a car coming the other direction. It's super dangerous, right? Have you ever been in that scenario where you have to pass somebody and you're like, I don't know if there's someone coming because this is a kind of a big vehicle?
Yeah, like on the mountains and stuff.
Yeah, now you're going to be able to pass this big truck without any issue. So there you go. That's what it looks like. And even, bigger trucks can pass because the thing is you can see if there's any oncoming traffic, which is really, really handy, especially in, on roads like this. So because they needed to test on roads like this, a really good place for that was Argentina. So they did a lot of a pretty extensive testing in Argentina. It's got night vision mode, which is pretty great. Huh. You'll be able to see this screen day or night. It won't wash out too much in the sun. You'll be able to take a look at it. I think this is a great idea. And they were saying that basically after testing, again, pretty extensively in Argentina, the truck is not currently operational, but they would like to continue to move forward with more testing. And they feel they've proven the technology can work, and they want to develop the system and get it out to companies that have shipping trucks, which is pretty awesome.
What did truckers think about this? Did they get any truckers' opinions?
I did not see any. I tried to look around to see if there was any truck driver opinions, because I do feel like this is a very interesting thing. Like truck drivers, I'm curious, like, would you want this technology? I would guess, if I had to guess, I would say yes, because it keeps their truck safe and them. Because so many people drive dangerously around big trucks like that. I mean, here in Southern California, I see it all the time. People cut those trucks off. I think they have it in their minds that the trucks can stop quicker than they actually can, or like they just don't really consider what it takes to drive a truck like that.
Yeah.
And so I mean, for me, if I was a truck driver, which I'm not, I would say that would be a really great thing if it could.
You're not a truck driver?
Well, I mean, only Monday through Friday when I do the show, but on weekends.
I remember there being in the comments, at least on YouTube, a lot of people that were truck drivers that watch this show. So.
Yeah.
First of all, this, and then second of all, we'd love to know your opinions
let us
on
know.
this to find out, because I know they care about weight and everything too. So I'm wondering if that like weighs down, the truck and
the weigh-ins,
and if it makes it harder to open the back of the truck and actually do your job. But Samsung working on this is perfect. I mean, like. They get to sell their TVs.
They do sort of wacky things, and they make the screens and everything. So it is a really great. But I also like that it's promoting safety. And I mean, the thing is, if you can just make any road safer, I guess I'm all for that.
True that. So ask us a question. Okay,
so that brings us to our hashtag of the day, which is TDC SEEC, like you're seeing something. And I'm just curious, like, what thing, if you could have anything in the world be transparent to see through doing something for work, what would that be? Like, what's the thing? It doesn't have to use this type of technology. It's just if you could make something transparent, what would it be?
If I could, like, anything transparent?
Yeah.
I like the see-through refrigerators. They have the glass, you can see what's in the refrigerator
good. I like
instead
that.
of opening it up and finding out. But that's already done. So I'm going to say people's heads. I want to see what you're thinking. I know that's a very abstract thought, but I just saw Inside Out. and I feel like I need to get to the bottom of this.
I like it. All right.
That or tablets, because I usually am like watching Game of Thrones or whatever.
Semi-transparent
And I'm one of
tablet,
those one of you people who hold it up, and I'm too busy to like
Multitasking.
It's a bad thing, people. But anyway, I'd love to be able to see through it and see the show at the same time.
I would say my hands, because I like sometimes you're writing
You
something
want
down, you want to
see-through
see
hands?
through like to what you're actually doing, or like if you could do touch typing, you look through and just see the keyboard. You wouldn't have to worry about like moving your hands.
Would
I
it
mean,
be hard
I
to
don't
put
need
like
it
rings
for
on
typing,
it?
but
Like put your wedding ring on it? Would it be hard to like?
it would be a little bit weird. Well, maybe I could just project one on there. That'd be fine. Just to be good. But yeah, I would like if I'm writing down notes. I tend to write notes by hand still.
Okay,
And
that's
so,
good. That's
and
good.
if I'm breaking down like a story or something, sometimes I'm just kind of like fiddling with notes and little scribbles, and I wouldn't mind being able to see through my hand. So there you go.
All right, so TDC. So we want to know what do you want to see through, buddy?
See.
Friendo. So basically, our next story is a little one that came after E3 for some reason, and it's from Sony PlayStation. They have a big announcement, like I said, not actually big. They decided that post-conference, they're going to announce a brand new PlayStation, which has 1 terabyte of storage drive. Their other one had 500 megabytes of storage drive. Their big announcement is 1 terabyte. They're calling it the Ultimate Player Edition.
Yeah, 500 gigs now.
Yeah, 500 gigs now, whatever I said. 500
terabyte.
gigs, 1 terabyte now.
Doubling.
Of course we know that Microsoft and Xbox announced that they were going to upgrade to 1 terabyte. They announced this at E3.
Right.
And now PlayStation says they conveniently skipped doing it. This is not the first time that like it seemed like PlayStation's moves were based on retaliation and response. But I mean, it's coming out really, really soon. In Europe, it's going to come out on July 15th.
Oh, so less than a month away.
So yeah, it's pretty soon, but maybe that's enough time to turn around. It is kind of like remodeled. It's got like a more matte finish up on top instead of the glossy one.
Oh God, I would rather have that than the glossy. For me, the glossy is kind of annoying.
Man, I don't care at all about either of those things. It just sits on a shelf, and I'm not sitting there like ogling it. But there you go, July 15th, and like other releases in the US, we have no idea.
I'm
So
sure
we're
it'll
just gonna
be
sit
soon.
around and twiddle your thumbs. They're 500 megabytes. Like, I mean, this is great. Like, we need that extra space.
Why didn't we do
And it
this
just-
at launch?
Oh, why didn't we do backwards compatibility at launch?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, why do these things at launch, guys?
They're
Like,
trying to sell more consoles. I get it.
Yeah.
I
They're
get
trying
it.
to give people
It
who
seems
haven't
relative.
upgraded a reason to upgrade, which is you. Are you going to upgrade? Would you upgrade either of these now?
Oh, you're saying to go from my PlayStation 3 to my...
To a PS4 or from your Xbox 360 to an Xbox One? Like, now that these are out, would you, and backwards compatibility, are you like thinking like, well, maybe?
Look, I'm going to be straight up. I'm not going to use backwards compatibility.
Okay.
Like,
no, that's great.
I
I'm
don't
happy
think
to hear
that many people. It's gonna be a fun toy for like maybe a weekend to use backwards compatibility.
Okay.
So it wasn't that big an announcement. But no, because it's games that sell the console, not the console
That's
necessarily. Not for me, at least. I'm a PC gamer. I
Yeah.
hook it up to my TV. I can play all my Steam games. I'm totally fine.
Makes
Are you
sense.
gonna change? You already have consoles.
I mean, backwards compatibility is totally wasted on me because as soon as I got my Xbox One, I gave my Xbox 360 to our next door neighbor. He's like 8. So I just gave it to him for Christmas because he's a nice kid. And then I gave him all my games. So I was just like, here you go, like take my Xbox 360.
Yeah.
So it's like, first of all, I'm not going to go back next door and be like, hey kid, give me those games back. Not going to do that. And then two, like, I mean, yeah, it's for new games. Like, I mean, I don't need backwards compatibility, just like I don't need, I don't need my consoles to play old games unless, I don't mind paying for them to work. Like on Wii U, like I'll buy a virtual console game. It's fine. It's like $5. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. I still think, and this doesn't even have a place necessarily in this article, but I still think there was some sort of, it was a strategic move. It wasn't for us.
Yeah.
It was for Microsoft because they either worked something out with GameStop or they
That's a
worked
really good
or
point.
they worked something out with, who is the other place that's going to start selling used games now? Someone else just announced they're going to start selling used games.
I forget who, but even like GameFly, I mean, GameFly sells used games. They do the rental system. I mean, this is like a really big boon to those types of companies. So
Yeah.
I would imagine you're probably not wrong.
Who was it that's starting to
Is
sell?
it Amazon? No, Amazon sells used games. But
Yeah. I don't know.
There's a
anyway,
lot of used game
it's a
sales.
strategic move, but anyway.
seems-
So there you go. But that's
a good point.
That's good news for anybody that doesn't have it and realizes that they can now get an upgraded version.
Yeah.
There's no bundle, So you're not
No.
getting a game with it or a cool controller or anything. It's just like, here you go, because the Xbox One.
Here you
had
go,
a
1
bundle.
terabyte.
So there you go. All right. So 1 terabyte, there's your article. That brings us to our question of the day. Are you going to use backwards compatibility?
Yeah, you can
Every
answer that.
single day? No, I'm just
You can
kidding.
answer that question too if you want. I'm good
All
with
right.
that.
So anyway, sorry.
I gotta tell you about NASA. This is really exciting. We are as a human race heading to Europa. This is a big deal. NASA has been working on a kind of a pitch, a concept, if you will, to head over to Europa. Which, if you aren't aware, we are pretty sure, scientists are pretty sure that there is a liquid ocean under the frozen surface of Europa.
Cool.
It's one of Jupiter's moons, and so one of the things that we have found here on Earth is that life exists in water, pretty much anywhere. Like even in the super frozen old water that you find in Antarctica that is just like, millions of years old. They have been untouched. They find microbes there. So NASA thinks that the best shot to find a simple alien life form is going to be on Europa. So now it's moving forward. It's in the development stage. It's not a concept anymore. It's been approved, concept approved, moving forward. It has funding now to start development and through designing and building, so they can actually start working on this spacecraft. Now here's what they're going to do. They're going to send this spacecraft out to Jupiter. They're not going to send it directly to Europa because there's a lot of radiation surrounding Europa. Jupiter throws out a lot of radiation. So any object, any spacecraft that heads straight to Europa is basically going to get shredded by radiation. Not a good idea, and it won't last very long. So they'd be able to do a very short mission and basically spend a lot of money to do a very short sort of exploration / informational trip. But what they want to do is they're going to send this spacecraft out. They're going to put it in orbit on Jupiter, and then when Europa does close fly, they're going to do flybys when Europa gets close to Jupiter. And they're going to check out, they're going to take images, they're going to try to make a fully understood image of the entire surface of the moon, which is cool. And then they also think that, do you remember a while ago when we had this story about Hubble telescope taking a picture of it, and we saw these, what looked like water spouts, like really big water spouts coming from the surface? Well, they said if that's the case, these would be miles and miles high, and they would fly the spacecraft through those water spouts and be able to kind of test to see if there are, in fact, markers for potential life. So they're not testing for life specifically, but they're testing to see if Europa could, in fact, harbor life, living organisms. So this is really exciting. I'm always super thrilled when NASA gets a new project going. And this is a really, really exciting one, I think, for a lot of people, not only at NASA, but who follow kind of the space program, because this is a really good shot of finding life.
Yeah, man, that's all we need is one little shred to say that life could exist out there, and that shakes up the whole planet.
Want to shake it up like a snow globe.
But yeah, that's crazy. How long does it take for the satellite to go around Jupiter? Because Jupiter's a big
probably
mama.
a really long time. But they were saying that they would be able to use Europa's gravitational pull to sort of figure out exactly when the best times would be and how fast it would be moving. It's all kinds of crazy stuff.
Is this gonna be one of my kids are gonna know this?
Maybe.
And I'm gonna be dead?
It might be. No, I don't think you'll be dead. I think this will happen maybe in the next, I think they actually had a time frame on NASA's website. And I'm sorry, NASA, because I'm forgetting it off the top of my head.
Sorry, NASA.
Yeah, that's totally my bad. But I want to say within 20 years. So you'll still be alive. This is a thing that's going to happen. But it's going to take a lot of time to get that spacecraft out there, one, and then beyond that, to get those images and data back, it's going to take some time. So for sure, it's in the future. It's a ways in the future. But it hopefully will happen at some point, which is really, I just think it's exciting. It's so fun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Well, on that note, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with a Back It or Hack It that you don't want to miss. It's just they want to revolutionize audio the way GoPro did video. So pretty cool.
Radical.
But before we go on break, check out this old man and his cat on a motorcycle. Welcome back to the show. We've returned. It's Monday. We're finally back from E3. I felt like we were there for so long.
We're not still there?
I think maybe this is a virtual reality space.
We're still in the Morpheus.
We're still in the Morpheus, guys. But for now, it's time for Back It or Hack It. All right.
What?
So, we're going to revolutionize. This company thinks they're going to revolutionize audio recording the way that GoPro did video. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
All right. So, this is called InstaMic. And it's not like an instant Michael, like you just suddenly a person named Mike shows up.
Right, I didn't think that,
Not the
but
case.
okay.
This is a really tiny little device, look how small this is, that records high quality audio. And they're saying you can literally attach it to the inside of a drive, like places you would not be able to normally record high quality audio. One of the ones that I thought was really interesting was they literally attached it to a guitar amp. So you would imagine that would be completely distorted.
Blown out.
Not so. Like this actually records really good audio. Incredible. So impressive. Yeah, they attach it to a drum kit. I mean, they're like, this is a great way to get all kinds of sound effect sounds, just everything. It records in 48 kilohertz, 24-bit audio. There are two different models. There's a Go model, and that Go model is splash proof, so you can take it out in the rain and stuff. You don't have to worry about it. There's the size right there. It's like 1 inch by 1.5 inches. It's very, very little. There are quick mounts. So they have Velcro, tape, and magnet quick mounts. So you can like pop it onto a car. If you want to put it next to the exhaust, film Fast and the Furious 8, they could do that if they wanted to, which is pretty cool. You control it through an app that's on your phone. It's Bluetooth 4.0. And they have a Pro model that is actually waterproof. You can take it up to 5 feet underwater, which is pretty cool. And it also does stereo recording, the Pro version. So the Go version just records, I think it's like mono and then dual channel. So it can record up to 4 hours of audio, and they wanted about $50,000 on Indiegogo, and they already have over $100,000. So a lot of people are really excited about this.
Well.
They're terribly.
I want to back the crap out of this.
I knew you would like this because you could take it to, you go to a lot of concerts. And this seems like.
I'm glad you already saw exactly where I was going with it. Now I can pretty much rip the music from a concert, just put it on, and I can listen to it anywhere I go and basically steal from the artist.
No, but you're going to be hearing all the people cheering around you too.
That's the best part of listening to a concert thing.
But you're going to get like your own personal mix of the show. And then they have like a wristband where you can like wear it and like not have to worry about it in your hand. You don't have to like hold it. So it's like $99 too. It's the same price as like a Zoom H1, which is one of its, I would imagine, its direct competitors. And then I think the Pro is $129, but I think they said that price would go up like once the Indiegogo was over.
That's not that bad.
No, not bad. For something waterproof that you can literally throw into a pool, I mean.
So I still would need to hear the quality of each of these things. I trust that it's better, but I want to know like how much better, how much worse. Yeah. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure they figured that out, but I'd love to like go around and test it. So send it to CNET.
Yeah, so the Zoom H1, I was looking at the chart. The Zoom H1 records in 96 kilohertz, and then this records in 48. So it is a little higher quality on the Zoom H1, but then it also can't do a lot of the things that you can do with this. So you can't like attach it to a car. It doesn't have these little quick mounts. It's not nearly as invisible. Like the Zoom H1 is like this tall. It's like this thin. So it's literally like a little microphone that you would hold. But this you would be able to attach to like inside somebody's collar, or there's all kinds of ways that you could do this. I see a lot of espionage applications. People tape it to their chest and they get information from people.
Logan, what do you think about using this at a concert?
I like it. Not at a concert, but I like it for other use.
For other use.
Fair enough. He's a film maker.
Producer Logan's a spy.
Yeah, he likes to produce stuff, so.
Yeah.
He wants to produce some audio.
That too, yeah. So it's $99 gets you a Go, and then $129 gets you a Pro. So I thought that was really cool. So nice work, InstaMic. But yeah, they're really into. They want to revolutionize audio the way that GoPro did video. That's what they keep saying.
Very cool. Yeah, like it.
Great work. Okay, guys, it's time now for your user feedback. You are getting taller as we speak. You're getting taller, longer. It's weird. Okay, so user feedback. We didn't give you guys any hashtags last week.
Yeah.
So sorry about that.
Take that.
But what we did do was I wandered over to our E3 in virtual reality, our 360 experience that CNET put up on YouTube.
Okay.
And we pulled some of the comments from there to make us just feel really good about ourselves because everybody seemed to like it a lot, which is pretty cool. So here's the experience. If you haven't seen it yet, it's really fun. If you pull it up on your phone, you actually can move your phone around as if you're looking around in the space, which is pretty neat. It's a little bit more counterintuitive on a desktop where you have to like click and drag to like move the camera around, but it's really fun on a smartphone. So we highly recommend that you check it out. Okay, so let's get into our user feedback. First one is from Casey. Casey says, I really hope this catches on. And he got 5 thumbs up.
Take those to the bank, Casey.
Take those thumbs ups right to the bank. Danny CD17 said, why is Khail on CNET?
Yeah, good question.
It's a really good question. I mean, I know
What the heck?
You're so new.
I have no idea.
He's never
Look,
ever
I've been
done
asking
anything.
myself that every single morning.
Ultimate Ruffles wrote in and said, I was watching this on iPad and thought it didn't work until I picked up my iPad and I could look around. So
Sup, Ruffles?
Hey, Ultimate Ruffles.
How's
Not
it
regular
going, man?
Ruffles. Ultimate Ruffles.
Good to see you. We'll live stream later. By the way, that guy said Khalil, not Khail. He said Khalil.
Yeah,
so
Khalil.
I could ask you the same
A lot of
question.
people ask about Khalil, and I'm
You
not
know
sure
what?
who that is.
Fair enough. That's more a name than my name is. So you win this round.
You're like, touche, friend. And then lastly, Every Second wrote in and said, okay, this is awesome.
Not true every second. Just know it's cool.
I agree.
No, it's really
I say
coll
it's 100%
if you didn't get a
true.
chance to check it out, you really should. There's been a lot of positivity around it because it should have been done a long time ago. But
Yeah.
now that YouTube is allowing 360 and 3D stereoscopic, you can now create videos like that.
Yeah.
And thankfully, CNET was hopped on board with that almost
Yeah.
immediately, and ultimately like one of the first to do it.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
even
super
trying
cool.
to brag for them. I've just been looking for this type of content. I remember I pitched it to them a while back. So
Yeah, it's like
but now it
easily
makes sense,
accessible,
so.
I think is the big thing where you're saying like Google is finally offering us on YouTube. Like you don't need, you can download the IM360 app to view the
Yeah.
content, but now you can just literally go to the YouTube video and it will automatically load as a 360 video for if your phone has a gyroscope in it.
Yeah, show it to people at bars like I did.
Yeah, you'll blow
and
their
they're
minds.
like, whoa, this is amazing, because they're holding the phone and they're drunk. And
Yeah, and
good-
it's the
good stuff,
best.
yeah.
So yeah, thank you everybody for all of your very nice
thanks.
comments. This will mark the first and likely last show where we do 100% YouTube comments for the user feedback.
Which is a bummer.
Which is
And
Khail
also
says
a
a bummer
blessing.
and also the best. So that being said, let's hit our very last piece of user feedback, which is our photographer of the day. Okay, so Rolo wrote in, our good friend Rolo, who's I think we've had he's been on photographer of the day before. He said, tomorrow daily, I visited my sister and went road tripping to see the sunrise at Haleakala Summit in Maui, Hawaii. I did not expect to have below freezing temperature in Maui. Are you kidding me? The sunrise there was spectacularly gorgeous, and to capture the moment, I've set my Note 3 into HDR mode and have my sister be my human tripod. I composed and framed it for her what I wanted to capture. I told her not to move the phone. Then I immediately ran on top of Lava Rock and posed. Go shoot it! The picture turned out an epic shot. Once again, I love your show. Your avid fan, Rolo. So Rolo's sister took this picture, but he was the mastermind behind the framing of it. And it's amazing. That is a really good picture.
That might be one of our best pictures that we've had.
It might be. I mean, it's
Just
up
because
there.
of composure
Yeah.
and
Color.
color. I know he did HDR, which I mean could
Still.
be like hacks, but still,
I'll take it.
As long as you're using it correctly, it can
Allowed.
be the best. So
So
yeah.
amazing.
And I like that he gave his credit to his sister.
For being a human tripod. Well done. Well done, Rolo's sister. High fives. But yeah, so good. I saw this in our inbox and I was just like, oh man, like you get a fast pass to the front of the line because we have a huge like bay of photographers that I have like lined up. And I was just like, oh, we got to get this one on like right away, which is pretty cool. So yeah, thanks, Rolo. If you want to submit your photography or a story idea, you can email us tomorrow@cnet.com. You can find us on tomorrowdaily.com if you want to share the show with a friend. And of course, you can always find us online.
Yeah, on our personal accounts at Khail Anonymous.
And I'm at Ashley
On
Skeva.
Twitter, yes.
Yeah, we're on Twitter. Go find us on Twitter. And Tomorrow Daily's on a bunch of social media, but usually we just post the show. If you want to find us and talk about stuff, we're on Twitter. So that's it for the show today. We'll be back tomorrow with a brand new docket of weird, wonderful science fact, science fiction. But until then, be good humans, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.